Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final verdict. I'm Carlin Jacob, joined today with John Dodaro as always. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are still on break. Yeah, we're still on break. And you're probably like, what are you doing? Well, we talked. John and I were talking when the break was coming around. We said, well, there's going to be a couple episodes. One of them being Under the Lights that dropped yesterday. Make sure you check that out.
Inside
One
the
of
Dome.
them, Inside the Dome. One of them being Scream 7, which is why we're here, and another as well being Oscars, which we're going to talk all the Oscars when that happens, but that will be after the break regardless. We didn't know how long the break was going to be. That's going to be after break. And this is one of the reviews we had planned. So we are here to talk Scream 7. I'm Carlin Jacob, joined today with John Dodaro. Ladies and gentlemen, we saw Scream 7. Now, if you've listened to this podcast, you might know a thing or two. I do not do horror. So the first thing that's probably going through your head is, why is Carlin on this episode? Well, John and I pay for Cinemark monthly rewards, and you get a free ticket every month. I got a free ticket to this movie, so a win's a win. I told John I'll go if I go for free. And I went for free. I got a water. I got a poppycorn. Shared it with John. And I saw Scream 7. We're going to talk everything from this movie. The spoilers is going to be... hopefully this episode is not too long for you guys. Non-spoiler, we're just going to talk about here and there. Spoiler, obviously a little bit more. Before I pass it to you, John, I just want to say, I know nothing about the Scream movies. John literally gave me the breakdown on the way to the theater. So I can't tell you much. But what I can tell you is, you don't have to see the other ones to understand this movie. I completely understood everything that happened in this movie. Maybe a couple callbacks. But you don't need to see the other ones. And will I see it again? Nope. Will I ever see another Scream movie? No. I will see Scary Movie. They played the trailer before this movie, and Scary Movie seemed interesting. Scary Movie's funny. I think that's the way. But anyways, I'm rambling. John, happy Saturday. Happy end of February. I feel like that deserves a round of applause. We were forever in February dragged.
It did.
Dragged.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great. Well, I was great until this. So now I got a headache, and that's not great. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to be ranting for an hour on this one. But I'll get my points across. But yeah, I've been doing good. We've been on our little break, mainly on Inside the Dome, but it's kind of carried over to the final verdict. But we did have this movie circled down. We did want to review this at the end of the episode. I was going to do it at the beginning, but we'll do it at the end. I wanted to mention some of the things that we've seen during our break, because we did see a few, but we'll save that to the end since we've already kind of gone into the nitty gritty of Scream 7. But oh boy. So yeah, we are going to do a spoiler-free review first. We'll just say our initial thoughts. We'll give it a final verdict, and then we'll talk spoilers, which most of our talk will be that. But Carlin knew nothing about the Scream franchise going into this. I knew a good amount. I'm not a super fan. I saw the first movie, I saw the fifth movie, and I saw the sixth movie. But not in that order. I saw the fifth movie, then the sixth movie, and then I went back and watched the first one. And you can go into this movie not knowing anything, and you can figure it out. It does help knowing the first movie, I would say, because it's going back to Sidney Prescott. She's the main character again after not being the main character in the past two movies. It's going back to her. There's a lot of references to what happened in the first movie. So knowing the first one is probably the best. You don't need to know a damn thing about Scream 5 or 6. Though there are two returning characters from those specific movies. But you don't need to know those movies that much, because this movie had a crap ton of drama going into it. The directors of the past two movies were out because the timeline didn't fit. Then Melissa Barrera, who played the main girl in the past two movies, Sam, she was fired. Jenna Ortega, the other main character, left because of that. So then we had to pivot back to Sidney Prescott and make up a whole new story to do here. So there was a lot of drama going into this movie. Did it work out? Kinda, but then no. Best way to put it. It was kind of working at times, We had a great crowd at our theater. Great crowd. We haven't had a good crowd like that in a while, I would say, for the movies we've seen. So it was kind of working. Is it great? No. But it was suspenseful. We were in for the ride. I was intrigued to see how the ride would end. I was not going to get off the ride early. It wasn't like Iron Lung when I was praying for it to just end sooner than later. I was in for the ride. But if you know Scream movies and you know that there's a killer reveal, when you get to the killer reveal, I was done with this movie. Done. Completely. Out of the movies that I've seen for reveals, this was the worst. Easily. In terms of who it was, how it was done, and everything that happened after it. The reveal was terrible. The reveal was... I would love to know who wrote the reveal, because he's a dummy, and who approved the reveal, because he's also a dummy. And if that is Kevin Williamson, who wrote the original movie and wrote this movie, if it is you specifically who wrote that idea, then you are washed. Straight up. You're washed. Best way to put it. Because it was not well done. Not well done. And it hurt the movie a lot. Like the last 10, 20 minutes, I did not care. I did not care a single bit. Mike Tomlin style. I do not care. So my crowd loved it for some reason. But I was not. I was frustrated with the ending. The ending hurt the movie a lot. But there were some good kills. Some really good kills. Carlin looked away at all of them. Did you watch any of the kills?
Last one.
Last one. Last kill. Won't say what it was. But good kills.
John knows I can't do gore.
Yeah, I know you can't do gore.
To a point. To a point. Heads exploding like the boys, that's fine. But I mean, knives, no. Knives are a no-no.
Speaking of the boys, what's his... I don't know the actor's name off the top of my head, but the guy who plays Sam in Gen V is in this movie. So that was a cool little shout out. I think a girl from the movie Madam Web was in this movie, and I had to point that out in the theater. I think she played like one of the kids, or she at least looks like that girl. Wasn't Sydney Sweeney. It was one of the other ones. They're obviously no Jenna Ortega because she quit. And Courtney Cox is back. Joel McHale is the husband. I was happy to see his character in this movie. I mean, the acting's fine. There's a new daughter, too. She was good for what it was. Acting's fine in this. Sidney Prescott, obviously, Sidney Prescott. So, nothing bad there. I mean, the best part about this movie was the kills. I think they had some good kill scenes. McKenna Grace, her scene. I guess I won't say any more without spoiling. But, I mean, you know people are going to die in this movie. You just know it. So, there was another really good one in a bar, too. Probably the best kill in the movie was in the bar. But aside from that, the storytelling was average to below average. I mean, it was fine going through the motions. Daughter has a mom with trauma, and the daughter's old enough to ask questions now, and I guess they've never had the talk beforehand, even though her mom's life is
not that talk.
The talk of the lineage of the family. That talk. Even though like her whole life, kayfabe wise, is in movies, the stab movies in their universe. So I mean, if she wants to learn Sidney Prescott's life, you can just watch the movies, technically. But I'm guessing they're not carbon copy the same. But who knows? But anyway, like that's the story they're telling. The daughter's old enough. She's the same age as Sidney was in the first movie. And obviously there's new killers invading their life. You can't escape Ghostface. So it's a fine story. The kills elevate the movie enough. And then the train tracks just explode and the train falls completely off the tracks. It's done at that point. Once you learn who the killer is, it's a garbage mess at that point. So Doesn't mean it's all bad, but that's something I'm going to rant about later. So, yeah. Any other thoughts, observations, spoiler-free wise, before we give this movie a grade?
I will never be able to give this movie a good ranking. Not because I think it's a bad movie, not because I think it's a good movie. I just can't give it an honest ranking. Now I am going to rank it. Don't worry, I am going to do it. But take mine with an asterisk. If I've learned anything, let John take the ropes on it. Because John's ranking is my ranking. Okay. I can't give this a good ranking because I was scared half the time. No, I wasn't scared. I just couldn't look. I did
for
jump
the gore moments. The gore moments specifically, right?
Yeah, for the gore moments, and I jumped a couple times because they'll linger it. They'll linger him standing there and then hiding, so you know it's coming. And I literally, for the people, I just boiled SmackDown for my sister. Oopsies.
Ooh, don't do that.
Yeah. Oh well. She'll get there in 30 seconds. But I'd be watching and I turn my head to the side and John goes, "Look at the screen."
Yeah. There weren't a lot of jump scares specifically. Like they did it so like they would show Ghostface before like a attack. And like he'll like go in and out of the shot. And they like hyped him up weirdly. Like I thought the last two movies had better jump scares of Ghostface for the tension, but it's whatever at that point. There's another character I want to mention, but I also don't, just because I'd like, if you want to see this movie, go into it blind. I don't want to try to spoil it, but there's another character they brought back in a cool way. So that was another positive of the movie, the one character they brought back from one of the original movies. But yeah, let's give it a grade. So, final verdict of this movie. This is not the worst movie I've seen this year. We've reviewed two worse movies, and we're only in February, so I can say them. Mercy and Iron Lung are worse than this. Still, like I would prefer this movie over the two of those. I think Mercy is a bad or a below average film. I think Iron Lung I would never watch again in my life. This one, if it was on the TV, I would watch 80% of it if I had to, and then turn it off when a certain scene happens. But I'll give this a 5 out of 10. I think it's average. It's an average film. It has some highs. It's not all bad. Like, it's getting some bad reviews. It's not all bad, but it doesn't work once you get to the ending. I don't want to grade it worse because I actually did enjoy some parts of it. So it's a 5 out of 10. Don't see this movie if you don't know the Scream movies. It's not worth it, or just wait till streaming. If you like the franchise, give it a shot if you're bored. Don't spend a lot of money on it, but if you're really bored, you can try it out. I'm not really recommending this movie, but try it out if you're bored. You might find some enjoyment in it. Find a good theater too, because I think our theater, even though they laughed at like every single joke that some of them weren't funny, they were reacting to the kills and the suspense, and that did help make the movie feel a little more alive, I would say. So 5 out of 10, I'll give this movie. What are you giving it?
I am giving it a 5 out of 10. It is above Mercy and Iron Lung. I will say, for the benefit of the doubt, it's entertaining. I was entertained. It's not like I wasn't entertained or bored. I was entertained the whole time, and that's a good thing for me, as you know. With that being said, I predicted some of it pretty easily.
Yeah. Like, the killer reveal, not saying who it is, but you get to a point in the movie where by the time you get to the killer reveal, you are like 90% sure who it is.
So I called one of the killers. You called the other one. But when the movie was going out, we were like, yep. And we didn't really think about it until it was confirmed. We're like, oh yeah. I will never be able to rewatch this movie, and I will never watch another Scream movie. Like I said, I will watch a scary movie because scary movie is funny. and it looked like a good time. So I'll do that.
If you don't know what Scary Movie is, if you're just saying like a scary movie, there's actually a movie called Scary Movie coming out. Yeah. It's a part of a series where they mock scary movies. So, yeah, that's what we're referring to when we say that. There's a new trailer for that in the theater. But I would say if you want to watch a good Scream movie, if you like these kind of movies, which Carlin doesn't, but it's okay. It's not for everybody. They're on Paramount Plus. Speaking of Paramount, they're about to buy Warner Brothers. That's pretty crazy. Literally came out of nowhere with money. So good for them, I guess. But the movies are on Paramount Plus. I would watch, if you want to watch a good modern one, 5 and 6 are way better than this. Way better. So I would watch those before this one. But time to spoil a little bit. We're not going to go crazy long, but we will discuss what we need to discuss of this movie. So if you have not watched Scream 7 and you don't want to know what happens, you want to know who the killer is or anything like that, stop listening or stop watching, because this is on YouTube. Come back later, and if you have seen the movie, though, or for some really weird reason you don't care to be spoiled, keep on listening, because spoilers will start right now. You have been warned. So, the killers. You just want to start there? The killers.
You're going to have more of a bone to pick than I do. I mean, to me, it made sense that it was the neighbor mom and the psych ward dude. But I guess for like the Scream franchise, you said that it's always tied more to the character, and it just didn't make sense from that point aspect.
Yeah, like it makes sense. So yeah, the killers is the psych ward guy. His name is Marco. I guess I did not even know that, but he was in one scene when Sydney and Gail were going to investigate. Because the first killer who they killed by getting ran over in a great scene was just some random guy from that went to Sydney's coffee shop. And they realized he was from a psych ward. They met the guy Marco there. One scene. That's it. One scene. We see this guy. And then he's a killer. Like, no one cares. He was in one scene. In Scream 5 and 6, our killers were with our main group like the whole time. It was fun that way. Like, we got to know these characters before their big betrayal. This, on the other hand, is just some random dude. And the mom, I think, had 2 scenes. There was one scene in the coffee shop, and then one scene when she and the son went to the house afterwards.
Yep.
That was it. That
she kills her own son.
And then, yeah, she killed her own son. Like, oh my... When they revealed it, first off, I was like, this is lame. This is very generic and boring. Like, it makes sense, sure, but it's boring. But then she's going on a whole thing like, I killed my husband, and she killed her son. Like, she never showed any hatred to her son in the movie. And there's a scene in the bar where the friend group is all there, along with Chad and Mindy from Scream 5 and 6, and they get attacked. The one girl dies with glass in her face. Chad and Mindy only get knocked out. The boyfriend and Tatum were not in there. But then Sam, her son, at first got stabbed, but I thought that could have been fake. Like, it was behind the door. Like, who knows what was happening there? Like, I thought, oh, maybe that's a cover-up. Because they've done a fake before. And then he legitimately dies from one of the coolest scenes in the whole movie where his head gets impaled.
Oh, his head?
Yeah, it was his head. His head got impaled through the beer maker thing, as Carlin hates that sight. And then beer starts coming out of his mouth. And blood starts coming out of his mouth, too. In such a cool scene. But then when you really think about it, that's the mom killing her son. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
And she was in a psych ward, right? So you can write off saying, yeah, she was in a psych ward. But John and I literally came up with a better way. Flip the killers.
Yeah, reveal that it was. I mean, we don't 100% know that it was the mom.
It was.
Okay.
Well, okay. Let's put it this way. If you've seen the movie, let's do it this way. Tatum and her boyfriend go to the car, right?
Yeah.
The killer stands out after Tatum knocks him. Tatum runs away. Killer chases her. Okay, that happens, right?
Yeah.
And then I just thought of it. At the same time, another Ghostface killer is in the restaurant. That Ghostface killer is the mom. Kills.
Are you sure that's the mom?
And I know why. Kills them, right?
Yeah.
Has that whole scene play out. When that's happening, Tatum is running and runs to the coffee place. Barricades herself in, locks the door. Sorry, I forgot something. Goes in the coffee place, hides, locks the door. Eventually, she gets up, walks away, and Ghostface taps on the glass with the knife and puts in the code, so she runs in the office. Now remember, John, she shoots him.
Yeah.
And he wears the bulletproof vest. So it was him who broke in.
He does wear the bulletproof vest.
Yeah. She could have gave her the code. That's probably
good. Yeah.
But it would have
makes sense.
But it would have been so much cooler if that whole scene was reversed. Because not only the mom knows the code, she could have worn the bulletproof vest. Like, that doesn't affect any of this, you know?
Yeah.
And then have it during the big reveal. Oh yeah, I killed your son. You did what?
Yeah.
Like, she could even like laugh it off. And I get, like, you know, but like play more into the dramatic of that. You know, because they could have been arguing, because then the dad cuts Tatum free.
Yeah.
Paramount, hire us.
I can't visually see, and they didn't give a good reason as to why the mom would kill her son. Like, willingly putting his head through the spike. Like, they did not give a good reason.
She's a psychopath. That's the reason.
Yeah.
But is it good enough for reason?
But it's stupid, too. Like, you could have done more with it. They did barely anything. I didn't get much from her little monologue that she did. But if it was the man, Marco, who did it, and the mom didn't know, like, that he killed everyone there, she could have maybe been distraught, like, you killed my son, or something like that. It could have easily been a mom-son thing. It could have been a mother-son activity. Is it predictable? Yes. But it's already better than what we got, because first off, the son is Sam from Gen V, and he could play a great villain. So I was already thinking it'd be him for that. But even then, it was already predictable, because when you get to the killer reveal, there's only 3 options of the killer at that point. Or, like, you gotta fill 2 of the 3, because you already killed Sam from Gen V. You killed the girl who was there. It's not Chad and Mindy. It's not Gail. So it's either A, the teacher who was in charge of the musical, who was kind of suspicious, who we don't see again. B, it's the mom who ended up being. And C, it's the psych ward guy who ended up being. So, like, 2 of the 3 we got. So by the time you get to the end of the movie, you know who the killer is anyway. So you might as well just done the mother and son. You could have even brought Stu Macher back from the grave, which I did like him in the movie as an AI guy. I mean, he's just fun. He's a great actor and all that. So there were some nice comedic moments with him being crazy. But you could have done that. Brought him back from the dead somehow. I would have been fine with that over what we got. If it was Stu Macher, I would have been, that's stupid, but it's fun. So I'll give it a slight pass. Instead, we got this utter piece of garbage of a killer reveal. 2 characters that we couldn't even like when you rewatch this film, if you rewatch this film, you're going to see your killers in 2 to 3 scenes, and that's it. So what's even like the fun of the rewatch? Because it's fun rewatching these movies when you know the killers and you can like see all their scenes and like what they're doing, how they're acting, and what was suspicious about them before. And this, what do you got? 2 scenes. Fun. Riveting.
I will say, John.
What?
We forgot one killer.
Oh, yeah, the other random dude.
Was his name Gary?
His name, the guy who got ran over by the car, is Carl Gibbs, a murderer who escaped from nearby mental institution.
It was
random
Carl
guy.
And the main psych guy, or the main guy.
Marco.
Originally. Carl dies, so then he recruits the mom. I think.
Did he recruit them? No, I don't think. I think it was a.
Or just was it 3 killers?
I think it was.
Has there ever been a Scream movie where there's been 3 killers?
Yes, the last one, Scream 6. It was a father and his 2 kids were, which maybe that's why they didn't want to do the mom and son, because it'd be repetitive maybe. Yeah, the mom was in it the whole time, I think. I think the mom was always a part of it. I think it was a 3-man
henchman.
I think it was a 3-man gang at that point, like a 3-man band doing it.
Interesting.
And he just got caught.
It was kind of funny though when we're sitting in the theater, and the psych ward guy, is fight. Ghostface is fighting, Tammy, and they're fighting, and then the second one comes in, and everyone thought, oh my gosh, like there's another one. Yeah. What did you think we just watched?
Yeah, because Tatum was about to run out the door, and then another one appeared. I mean, that was like a cool little like shock. Like if you were shocked that there even was a second, I think it was like in the moment. It was like, oh bleep, like you're screwed type of moment. But then they didn't kill her. But I guess they didn't want to kill her. Like they wanted to kill Sydney in front of her so that the daughter would be the next Sydney type of thing. Or I don't know. But yeah, it just didn't. It wasn't that good. And then there was the boyfriend too, was a suspect. And at first you thought it was him because he was messing with the AI stew, but it wasn't him. And then he died. Yeah, it was obvious it wasn't going to be the boyfriend. I don't think it was ever going to be him. But yeah, and then here's the other big thing in terms of lapse of logic. So Gail is interviewing Sydney at the news station. And then the Stumacher phone call comes in and he's like, I'm at the bar and I'm going to kill your daughter and all that. And then, so Gail's like, I'll call the cops. Says it deliberately. Call the cops. And it looks like the guy understands the message. Like, I got to call the cops. He calls the cops. Sydney doesn't have a car, so she's on foot, and she's not even able to make it in time, and she has to like direct Tatum through everything. Whatever, that's fun. Whatever. Here's the thing: through the time the cops are called to literally anything that happened in the coffee shop further, no cops show up.
Hold on.
What is the response time of these police officers?
That's not. I don't have an issue with this.
No.
John calls Courtney Cox, whatever her name is. Gail tells them to call the cops and sends them to the bar.
Do we know that though?
Yes.
She literally says. Okay, keep going. Just keep going.
She literally says, call the cops, tell them to go to the bar. There's a killer at the bar.
Okay, keep going.
Never did they say that she left and went into the coffee place. So the cops had no idea she was at the coffee place. The only person who knew was Sydney. But even at that point, Sydney could be like, text someone, hey, call the cops. They're at,
Now, here's my rebuttal. It's a curfew. It is a curfew where there is no one out. No one's allowed outside at all. So when there is a call that a ghost face is at a bar, there would be sweeping police cars on the street instantly. And they probably did not find a killer at the bar, obviously. So they're probably on the street searching for a killer. And also, before the coffee shop, The killer went through a glass window of another shop and the alarm was going off. So cops had to have been there too. And they could have probably figured it out, like Sidney Prescott's daughter, coffee shop. Let's go. Or at least let's sweep the streets, look for Sidney or the daughter. They could have been doing that before Sidney Prescott ran to the coffee shop. Like the killers were able, before, when the cops are called originally, the Tatum was able to run all the way to the coffee shop. The killers were able to abduct Tatum and get out of there, get out of the little city and back into the suburbs before any cops were on the streets, patrolling the streets. Nah. That's not working. And yeah, that not buying it. Not buying it. There should have been cops. There should have been cops at the bar before Sam from Gen V got murdered. Like, if cops responded on time, that's what would have happened. In Scream 5, when Jenna Ortega got stabbed for the very first time in her house, she immediately called the cops. They were there in 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. They should have been at the bar in 2 to 3 minutes. They were not. The police force in whatever town they live in is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Maybe Joel McHale was literally the whole police force, and when he died, I guess no one was available.
Also, sorry, I was texting. You think about this too. He's a chief of police. No one questioned where he was at. Yeah.
Okay.
No one questioned it. And also, those cops didn't check the attic.
Yep.
See, here's the thing.
Yep.
Horror movie, we'll talk about. Horror movies are about bad decisions. This being one of them. However, if I know I have an attic, and let's say there was someone trying to break in my house, right? I would have a cop go in the attic and look in the attic.
There were plural cops in the house, searching the house. This is why I hate the police force in this movie. Like, my reason, first off, and then they can't even search a house properly. Like, if you are severely, like, monitoring a house, you would check everything. Everything. Like the basement, the attic. I have an attic in my house. If I needed the cops to sweep my house, I'd hey, check up here. There could be someone hiding up there.
It's not even like you have to go in the attic and like crawl every inch of the attic. You literally go up there, shine a flashlight, look around. If there's stuff up there, you got to go in the attic. Yeah. But it's empty. It's not that hard.
Especially when you're Sidney Prescott, who's been through so much already. It's not like this is her first time in the rodeo. Like, that's the one place he was hiding. I also thought, too, in that chase sequence, like, when they were in the safe room, Tatum and Sidney, why did they leave? Sidney left to find Joel McHale, her husband. That's fine. But why did Tatum have to go? Tatum was safe as can be in that panic room. Why did she go?
She had to go get the dad.
But Sidney
didn't want to be left alone.
Oh my God, you were safe. You were safe. And then you weren't safe.
See, but here's the thing though. You can't say that until you're in that situation.
I mean, I would have been in there calling the cops. Though they wouldn't even show up, so yeah, I wouldn't even do that. But I don't know. Like, but then again, like, at least that scene, I'll give it a pass because it was at least still exciting. Like when they're in the wall and he's stabbing through the wall. Like, it was an exciting scene for what it was. Like, I was still entertained. So, like, some things in this movie I'll give a pass to because there was some suspense. Even when she's in the coffee shop, it was a fun little scene where she has to shoot with Sidney on the phone. Like, it was a fun little scene. Nothing spectacular. I think we've seen better, but there were some redeeming things. What was not redeeming was just the ending. Like, I didn't even care about the action. The action scene was so quick, too, at the end. Like Marco, the psych ward guy, gets shot instantly when the final battle starts. I thought there was going to be like a fake out or something with how quick he got shot. Nope, he's dead. Headshot. And then, like, the mom was in the fight. She might have lasted like 2 minutes. Lost pretty quickly at that point. And it was over just like that. I think the final fight might have been like 3 minutes.
It wasn't that entertaining.
Man.
And I literally, she ran in there and go, oh, yeah, Tatum's going to save her.
Yeah. It was cool when they both shot together. Crowd cheered. Like mother, like daughter, I guess. But, like, I don't know. Frustrating ending. If we wanted to say positives, like, the opening was fun. They were in the original house from the first movie, and there were like a lot of relics, and then the animatronic Ghostface ended up being the real Ghostface. It got replaced, stabbed the guy through the head. Literally, it was a great scene. Carlin did not look, and then the other girl got burned alive after being stabbed. Fun.
From falling from a chandelier.
From falling from the chandelier. That was in the trailer, unfortunately. So I was like, I knew that was happening. It was a fun little scene. It wasn't like the greatest opening of the Scream movies, but it was fun for what it was. The scene where McKenna Grace is like up in the air, going back and forth, and then he stabs her. Carlin had no clue what even happened there because he looked away. It's unfortunate, but good kill scene. Even though I was like, where is the cops? Like, the cops' reaction time is terrible in these instances. But anyway, it happened. Bar kills were good, even though Sam from Gen V dying was odd. So, like, there are compliments to this movie. That's why it's a 5. But there are flaws. There are glaring flaws. So I might be more generous than other reviewers out there who are hating on this movie. It's a 5.
If you want to take my logic is always with movies. Did I have fun? I had fun. Didn't watch half of it, but I had fun.
Yeah, and I did too. Until the reveal.
It has its issues. It has a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me of Jurassic World Rebirth, which John hated a lot more. But point being is that at least with Jurassic World, it was fun. They made stupid decisions, and horror movies are going to make stupid decisions. They always make stuff like that. And it's entertaining. That's what it does. If you're looking to be entertained, watch it. Yeah. If not, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Simple.
Like, I was like engaged and entertained through the complaints I had of this movie. I was still entertained until the killer reveal. I think you could just see it in me. Like, I was done when they revealed the killers. Like, I was not having fun anymore. I was not having fun. But before that, though, I was having some fun. So that's kind of what this movie is. You might hate it more than me. You might hate it a little less than me and Carlin. But yeah, probably one of the worst of the franchise. A lot of people are saying this is the worst movie of the franchise. So if this is your first Scream movie, like Carlin, but if you have an intrigue in the other ones, I would watch the other ones, and you'll get a better movie out of the other ones. In terms of story, reveals, and all that, there are better Scream movies where you will get better reveals. I'll just say that right now. I won't even say them right now because in case you haven't seen them. So, even though I kind of spoiled Scream 6 already. But anyway, any other final thoughts of this movie before we put it under the rug forever? Because this is not making our top 10s.
Like I said, you can't take my word for it. I mean, yeah, just because I don't like horror. Take John's word, but yeah. Would you say that this could be a contender for one of your most disappointing movies of the year?
Disappointing, yes. Yes, because I actually, probably a month ago or 2 months ago, I had high expectations. Like 7, 8 at the bare minimum. because I liked Scream 5 and Scream 6. I had my concerns because of the director and the actors being gone, and they had to pivot things. But it's like, I didn't think you could mess it up that bad. So, honestly, in terms of my expectations, this will be a contender for the most disappointing movie of the year, easily. So, definitely, this could be that award. Definitely. But yeah, that's it. Sorry, Scream 7. Unfortunately, this was underwhelming. Really, this year, it's not been like superb. We're 2 months into the year now. You've actually seen 7 movies already, which is probably how many you had by June of last year. So you're doing really good. Right now, I have 8 movies. I've seen 1 movie every week, pretty much. I saw 2 movies in 1 week, and I saw 0 in another, so I'm kind of evened out right now. I'm seeing a Netflix movie this upcoming week. We're probably not going to review it, but right now, just looking at it, your highest movie is a 7 out of 10. You have 3 that are 7 out of 10s. I have 1 movie that's an 8 out of 10, which is 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Everything else is a 7 or lower, so we got to up the ante a little bit. It's been an average start to 2026. I know there's a lot of big movies coming out later, but then again, it is January and February. They're not the hottest months for movies. But real quick, though, before we end this, I did allude to it earlier on. During our little hiatus, was there anything that you saw or watched specifically that you wanted to shout out before we end this?
Was Solo Mio during your hiatus?
I think it was, yeah.
I mean, it was the week before. I saw Solo
Okay.
Mio. I think I talked about it on the pod. Good movie.
Maybe.
It's entertaining. Good Kevin James movie. It's a good feel good movie. It's by Angel Studios. Angel Studios is a relatively new studio. I love what they stand for and what they're doing. So go check them out for sure. But I saw that. What else did I see?
Was the Wrecking Crew, maybe?
I saw The Wrecking Crew. I watched that with my parents.
Okay.
my dad's a sucker for a good shoot 'em up movie. No. But yeah, I was like, and I turned on and he goes, "What's this?" And I told him, he's like, "Whoa, that sounds like a meme movie." And so I did that. I don't know if there's any shows I watched. I finished
You did watch some shows. I'm looking at them right now.
yeah, I finished hold on, where is it? I know, I'll get there. Hold on. Where's my reality? I finished Unreal season 2, part 1.
Okay.
But yeah, TV show wise, I did watch 2 shows. I watched Steel. It's on Amazon Prime. Gave it a 7 out of 10. I low key was on my phone half the time, and I got bored. It was cool, but I don't know. It's 6 episodes. I mean, they're hour each. If you're bored, watch it. The other one I watched was Free Burt. But with Free Burt, though, it's not that it's bad. It's entertaining. But the premise is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you got to watch it. It's on Netflix. It's 6 episodes, 30 minutes long. They're alluding to a season 2 already, so I'm sure that. But it's entertaining. It's as Burt Kreischer. He's a comedian. And then I'm halfway through His and Hers. I should be finishing His and Hers by the time the break comes back. So,
alrighty. For me, movie-wise, I did watch The Wrecking Crew. I gave it a 6. I was half asleep during it. It's Prime. I don't care. I saw no other movie aside from this. So
How to Make a Killing.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah,
How to Make a Killing. That was my mystery
John and I
movie.
had one of those mystery movies, and I was going to go with him, and then I got sick.
So my sister went, and we saw it.
Thank
7 out of 10.
John's sister. Yeah.
It's not getting great reviews, which is kind of surprising. Like it's like in the 50s or something on Rotten Tomatoes, or maybe 40s.
I do want to see it, and it's going to be on streaming by the time that we get to the end of the year, so I'll be able to watch it. So
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a 7 for me. So
is it even on my list?
I don't know. I mean, I was not expecting to see it. It was a mystery movie.
Nope, it's not. I'll add it to it.
Yeah, How to Make a Killing. I do recommend it. It's nothing great, but it is good, I thought. That was the only other movie I saw. TV. I'm still watching The Pit Season 2. That's not over. And I queued up some of the upcoming shows. Nothing else, though. Reality, though, I did finish Beast Game Season 2. That did end. And I also just finished The Trader Season 4, which I would have had an episode out already on that, but it wasn't processing fast enough. So it is actually dropping today, my quick review of The Trader Season 4. So that should be out as well right now. But that's the other thing I watched. And I am starting Survivor 50. I am starting it. I watched the first episode. Pretty tragic what happened on there, but I'm going to watch that weekly as well. So that's kind of been what's happening while we've been on our little hiatus. So that's pretty much it. So thank you all for listening. There will not be a confirmed episode until March 17th. It should drop. Oscar reactions. That will be our next confirmed episode. That's when we come back from our break, because Invincible will start that same exact week, as well as Project Hail Mary, the Ryan Gosling movie, comes out at the end of that week too. Ooh. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, but you didn't talk about Invincible.
Yeah, it is starting. Oh, yeah, you're right. Because Invincible is starting March 18th, and I binged seasons 1 to 3 of Invincible. So I'm all caught up on Invincible. I did enjoy it. I would probably give each season like an 8, then a 7, then an 8, something like that. So I'm glued. I'm ready for season 4. We will be watching it weekly starting on March 18th. So that week of March 15th to the 21st is when we will be back from our break. That is when things will pick up again. Before that, though, there's not really much. There's a Netflix movie. I doubt we're going to talk about it. Ted Season 2 does come out on, I wrote it down, it comes out March 5th. If it's worthy of a brief discussion, maybe, but it's not guaranteed. We did review it in 2024. So
yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10.
It might be worthy of a brief discussion if we got the time. But if we want to fill up the week, maybe a Ted Season 2 review. It's on Peacock. It's a binge, so it's not a weekly thing. So that'll be the only maybe episode we drop before March 15th. So check that out. But follow the socials, though, as well. Our Instagram, our Twitter, our not Facebook, our YouTube, our TikTok. All that's in the link tree in the link in bio. But other than that, I am tired. I got a headache because of this movie. So thank you all for listening so much. With Carlin Jacob, I'm John Dodaro. Have a great day, everybody, and see you next time on The Final Verdict.